Now today we will be sharing with you this upcoming launch, Hudson Place.
Hudson Place.
Where is Hudson Place?
We are not selling overseas project, but this is in Singapore.
Sounds like London, no?
Okay, so this place is at near One North area, okay, near Mediacorp.
The content that we'll be sharing today will be the project information, and because Hudson Place is not near to MRT,
Yep.
media circle, okay. So does it mean no MRT? Then we were launching at more expensive. Is it good? Big units not moving? How?
In this area because
Is it more on the investors or own stays kind of area? We also have to look into it. And Qingjian monopoly. Later we will touch on because the previous project by at this media circle is Bloomsbury is also by Qingjian. Then our every project favorite, now we will talk about sweet spot units and our individual owner score.
yeah, so later on, if you wish to skip to certain chapters, just go down to our description and then you'll see the different chapters. If you want to relook into some of our contents, just go straight into the chapter that you're looking for. Alright, and then of course, on our YouTube analysis, there are sometimes we cannot say some things that are on the negative side because there are developers watching our videos as well. So if you really want to hear more in-depth insights from us, do contact us. Alright, through scanning any one of the number, and then we will share to you personally on how we feel about this project itself and how it is suitable or not suitable to your profile.
Based on individual profile as well. Yeah. So and then also do remember to like and subscribe to our channel.
So let's first talk about what Hudson Place is all about. Right, so this is at Media Circle, and this is actually a mixed development in this area. So mixed development meaning to say first floor there's commercial units, and for Hudson Place itself, developers will not be selling these shops downstairs, so they will manage themselves. And then for the TOP date, this is actually in 2029, so we have a good about 3.5 years away. So definitely if you are planning to buy for your own stay, you have to plan for maybe a few years of stay, a rental. But if you choose for investment wise, there's a 3.5 years for you to go through this progressive payment. Alright, so it will lower down your monthly commitment to buying a property. Okay, so one thing to take note, this is only a 327 units development, and for the car park lots itself is actually 40%. So again, another car-like area. Basically, Singapore is turning into a very car-like area. Whether or not this will create some problems, we have to see come 2028 onwards. Now, for the unit mix itself, we have 2 bedrooms premium all the way up to 5 bedroom penthouses. So it's very bold for the developer to build penthouses over here. Will there be people buying penthouses, so big units over here?
That's why one of our content we put the big units will sell out or not.
Later on you will see whether there's a tendency for them to sell out big units. But one thing to take note is the smallest unit they have is 646 square feet, 2 bed, 2 bath. There's no more 2 bed, 1 bath here. There's no 1 bedrooms over here. So in terms of investment product, you will definitely be looking at minimally 1.4 plus million to about 1.5 plus. So is it a good investment product? You have to understand deeper. Now on the master plan itself, now you will see this is Hudson Place, which is over here, and then this is previously Bloomsbury. Now Bloomsbury is how many percent sold?
About 80% sold.
80% sold already, so quite healthy take-up rate. And Bloomsbury, their TOP is
also 2029. And right now, PropNext is one of the sole marketing agency only for Bloomsbury.
Help PropNext start yeah. Alright. So if you want to look at Bloomsbury, you want to compare between Hudson Place and Bloomsbury, do reach out to us because PropNext has the sole exclusive rights to show you for Bloomsbury itself. Alright. Back to the master plan. Previously, it was not pink and blue like that. Blue meaning to say what?
Business commercial space.
Alright, so meaning to say they cannot build any residentials on these plots. But right now, the newest master plan, government has changed it to some plots being pink color. Pink color meaning to say commercial on the first floor, and then on top is all residential. So you'll start to see more and more projects coming up over here. Alright, and previously there was one plot over here that was not bidded at all by any developers. It goes to show that some developers don't feel that this is a place that they want to build a name, they don't build a project over here, and they don't think the sales will do well over here. Still have fear. And this fear is actually passed on to buyers themselves, because that time when we were selling Bloomsbury, I think a lot of buyers feel, hey, this is like so ulu place.
Yeah, business place. Where will people want to stay there?
Yeah, no schools, no nothing over here. Okay, but slowly you will see more and more shops. I would say this place is really more for tenants. So in terms of investment point of view, actually this could be one that you want to consider in your list in 2026.
Because just now you also mentioned entire area is also a lot of business space, right? So this made up to a lot of bigger HQ such as media, R&D research, those big corporate, which also means that you will attract stronger pool of tenants. So that's why investors are actually now looking at this area.
So Charlene, why do you think investment product, why not I just choose somewhere outskirt where the price is cheaper? Of course, the rental might not be as high, but my rental yield is also adequately enough, good enough. Why should I choose a place like that?
Definitely. But usually for buying investment product, right, we also have to zoom into the pool of tenants that will be coming to rent your place. So you say outskirt, then you have to look at the outskirt area. Who are your immediate tenant pools? But when you zoom into this area, One North area, the immediate tenant pools will be your big HQ, corporate. Like for example, I think Grab is over there right now. Yeah. So for corporate, they will eventually want to rent for their staff. So even corporate will be paying for the tenant itself. So you have your immediate tenant pools already ready for you. So this is why when looking into investment for such place is important.
So it's more of a stable investment.
Yeah, stable tenant pool straight away waiting for you to add to cart.
Okay. Now, in terms of location-wise, this is actually quite far from the MRT. You see the nearest
1
MRT
kilometer, right?
either is the One North, if not it's towards Commonwealth. So far from MRT and you don't have sort of good schools within 1 kilometer. There's really not much to say about this area. So should you still consider this project itself?
So a bit middle of Queenstown, Margaret, Commonwealth, One North. So no MRT nearby, right? Will it affect your future selling price? You're surrounded in the middle of the business area, so far from everywhere. So will it affect your future selling price or not?
Yeah, I think for the purchase price is one thing. The exit strategy for you will also be another point to consider. If you look at areas like this, although there's a strong tenant pool, but there's no MRT, will tenants still want to rent from you? That's one thing we want to explore.
Correct. So just a brief touch on the site plan. This is a very compact layout with pool and tennis court. So the pool is actually in middle of 2 blocks because total there are only 2 blocks. So mainly the stacks will be facing the internal pool or just the outward facing. Now, I think a lot of agents will tell you no MRT, never mind, but there is shuttle bus provided.
Yeah, whenever there's no MRT, you'll start to hear agents telling you, it's
Shuttle
okay
bus.
one, the developer is giving you shuttle bus. But really, shuttle bus can solve the problem of
Can
no
solve
MRT.
the selling price in future or not. So we also have to look into it, right? But we also want to say that there is also a lot of upcoming similar launches that is not near MRT. And then they provide you shuttle service. The past launch is Nara Residence, and the upcoming will be Lentor Garden. You'll be launching in July, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this person will definitely tell you it's okay, not near MRT. But honestly, which one is better? We have to look into it.
Near MRT confirm better lah.
Actually, most of the buyers definitely will still prefer to be near MRT lah. I mean, this is one of the number one rule for most of the buyers, right? But let's say if you are in the investor point of view, what should you look out for?
So today we look at, if let's say today I'm a buyer looking at Hudson Place, I'll definitely consider somewhere nearer to MRT as well. And then somewhere lower in price.
Correct.
Yeah.
Definitely you go into Property Guru, you will list out nearest to MRT, the difference, the price difference and all. So right now we will bring you to a case study which is near One North as well. We will be bringing Hudson Place and One North Residences. So what's the difference? Hudson Place, just now I mentioned TOP in 2029. One North Residence is already TOP 2009, so the gap is about 20 years difference, so it's older. Distance to MRT, just now I mentioned Hudson Place, 1.12 kilometer. For me, I think 20 minutes walk. For you, maybe 15 minutes. Okay, for One North, they mentioned it's about 9 to 10 minutes walk to One North MRT. But then when we zoom into the per square foot for 2-bedroom prices, Hudson already have the indicated pricing out. Is estimated averagely will be launching about 2003, whereas One North is transacting about 1008 to 1009. So there is already a 400 per square foot difference, 21% gap. So as buyer's point of view, right, with 400 per square foot difference and you are nearer to MRT, which one will you choose?
Of course, One North Residences in this.
Nearer,
Yeah,
right?
as a
And it's
buyer.
cheaper, what? Correct. So we want to look into the transaction, the numbers to see whether is it not near MRT, that means your rental is not ideal. You won't fetch a good rental price.
Yeah, usually people tag rental to the MRT, the distance to MRT. Once the project is not near MRT, naturally people will feel, I will not buy that for investment, not for renting out.
Yeah, and then also will it generate higher resale value as well? Alright, so we look into the numbers. Showing you numbers as a comparison. We will bring you somewhere close to Redhill, not far from One North. Just now you mentioned a bit middle of everywhere, right? Okay, we bring you two projects. Tanglin Regency is near to Redhill MRT. It's about 8 minutes walk to Redhill MRT. TOP year is 1998. But take a look, this is at CCR.
CCR D10.
Core Central. Okay, then we zoom into another project at Principal Garden. This is located at D3 Queenstown. TOP in 2019. This one, it will be further away from MRT, which is about 1 kilometer. Also about 15 minutes walk lah. Yeah.
So that time when Principal Garden start to launch, definitely people will also be considering between Principal Garden or Tanglin Regency.
Correct.
So just by looking at this itself, I see better region. I see a more well-known district. District 9, 10, 11 is usually the most prime district.
Near MRT.
Near MRT. Naturally, people will compare these two together to see the prices. Is it worth it to really go into Principal Garden?
Yeah. So we look into the numbers itself, whether near or far from MRT, does it really affect your rental? So the gap for Principal Garden and Tanglin is about 21 years gap. So older. Per square foot, Principal Garden was launched 1004, whereas Tanglin is transacting at 1001. So it's also similar to just now, about 300 per square foot difference. But let's see the growth. For Principal Garden in 2006, whereas Tanglin at 1007. Based on the growth, right, it's at 30%
faster than
Tanglin Regency. Then let's look at the rental. Rental per square foot for Principal Garden is at $6.55 per square foot, whereas Tanglin is at $4.80. It already shows that, further from MRT, different district, not the core central, is actually fetching better growth, a 30% growth and better rental. So why is this happening?
So in terms of tenant, I just want to ask you, for tenants, what do they look for? Do they look for district?
No.
Do they look for region?
No, they will not know what is CCI, RCR, not so yeah.
So to tenants, what's important to them?
Tenants will actually look at the overall facilities, the vibe, and the location.
Okay, so distance to MRT definitely is one of their consideration. But we just want to show you here that doesn't mean that when the district is good, the region is good, is better. That means you will get better rental because tenants don't care about all these things. Alright, so after saying what tenants care about, but we also want to know how do people determine the rental rate that they want to rent out. Okay, so one thing is always about the purchase price first. So if they buy in at this kind of pricing, there's certain installment they have to pay. Naturally, landlords, they will want to rent out at a rate where it covers everything. It covers their monthly installment, MCST, everything in. So naturally, the rental will be always higher for the newer projects. Okay, so first is by the price, purchase price, and then it will lead to the rental rate. But once there's someone renting, there are people coming in to rent. The next thing we want to take note is whether there is a high tenant demand or not. Okay? When the high tenant demand comes, what happens to the rental?
That means your rental will increase, rental prices will increase, rental yield will increase.
It's easier to rent out already. Naturally, landlords will want to increase the rental. Alright? So when the rental increase, what will happen next?
Purchase price will increase.
Okay, why purchase price will increase? Because investors.
More demands come in. Investors will think that, the rental yield makes sense here, and investors will come in.
Yeah, so it will lead to higher price. Okay, so naturally over here we can see once there is a huge gap between the years of the TOP, that means to say the inner facilities, the inner condition, definitely the newer one is much better. And why it will naturally bring up our selling price in the future is because of tenants coming in, tenants bring up the rental price, investors coming in to bring up our selling price.
Correct.
Yeah.
So for every investment product, it's always important to know who your immediate tenants are. We also have to say, we keep on saying investing for investment product for rental. So that means this place is not for own stay.
Yeah, so we want to also explore, and especially because today Hudson Place, Qingjian, they are building 4-5 bedrooms, penthouses over here. Are there still people buying this kind of units? And we can see from Bloomsbury itself, there are a lot of 4 bedrooms and above that is still unsold. Right? But for the smaller unit type, you can see over here, basically more or less they sold about 80% already.
Yep.
So really, if today you are someone who is considering a 4-bedroom, you will definitely feel that, wow, nobody is buying. Am I foolish to enter over here buying a 4-5-bedroom? Okay, so we want to go into how usually projects will behave, especially like BUC projects. So first thing is Tembusu Grand. If you can see, the TOP date is actually last year, December. So we actually extracted out all the data in that period of time when it's leading up to TOP. You can see over here, October, September, all the 5-bedrooms start to sell, and even up to August. Okay, all the 5-bedrooms start to sell. All the big units start to go off. Why?
Because larger units are mainly attracted to own stay buyers, right? And for own stay buyers, they really want something that is move in quick. Their transition period when they want to sell and buy is smoother and faster. They cannot wait anymore. So they really want to move in straight after.
You just want to move one time, basically.
Yeah,
for
they
own
don't
stay.
want to wait and then wait for TOP 2-3 years. They want the whole transition to be faster. So we always see this kind of pattern.
Even for Grand Diamond, all right. So we are showing you different areas. Grand Diamond, you see closing to the TOP date. All the 4-bedrooms also start to move. Even a few months before, all the units start to move for the 4-5-bedrooms. So naturally, this is all across Singapore. You will see this kind of behavior happening for the bigger units.
Yeah, quite consistent this pattern.
So today, if I want to buy a 4-bedroom for own stay, which one do you think I should buy, Hudson or Bloomsbury? Because Bloomsbury basically still sort of untouched.
The TOP for Hudson and Bloomsbury is just a few months difference only. I will choose neither.
Oh.
Yeah, I would, because just now you mentioned larger unit that I really need something that is almost TOP soon. Maximum they can only wait about 6 months to 1 year. I will look at projects post-launch that still have remaining larger units.
Because I think for own stay buyers, naturally if they want to buy something to stay, if they buy something like Hudson or Bloomsbury, the first thing that come to their mind is this rental. So they have to rent somewhere first before this development is ready, then they can move in. And this rental, if let's say I just put a 5K per month.
Yeah, usually because larger units means your family size is quite big. You definitely need to rent a bigger and cost more.
And so it's about 60K a year.
Yeah.
And if I multiply by 3.5 years,
yeah.
That is about 200,000 plus already. So do I want to really pay this 200,000 to someone else just because I want to buy a new product? I might not. So actually it caters to different kind of profiles.
Yep.
All right. So depending on your profile, you are buying for own stay or investment, please speak to professional agents to give you the idea or give you a breakdown on what you should consider.
Yep.
All right, so if I have enough funds for a 4-bedroom as an investment point of view, I don't need to stay in this 4-bedroom. Which one should I choose, Hudson or Bloomsbury?
Then I will choose Hudson, okay? Because number one, see the launch price, is it cheaper? And also, you will have a longer progressive payment. So because you're not staying right for 4 bedrooms, but usually for larger unit type, most of the buyers will want to stay first before they sell. So if you sell immediately, you will have lesser competition as well. So Hudson,
all right,
for investment.
If let's say I want to buy a 2-bedroom for investment, which one should I go for?
The same, I'll go for Hudson because the price entry, number one, and you are also having a longer progressive payment. That means a money installment will not kick in earlier. And if let's say now you are saying that Bloomsbury, the TOP is much faster, then I will choose Bloomsbury.
Oh,
so
why?
the difference, because just now we mentioned the tenant pool is already very strong here. I know my immediate tenants already. I want to straight away collect rental. The ROI definitely will make sense. Yeah. So, but then for this case, Hudson and Bloomsbury, the TOP is quite near to each other. Actually, it's the same year, 2029, just few months apart only. So I will prioritize Hudson first based on the entry price.
Okay. So basically what we are trying to say is buying a property is not so simple just by saying that, oh, I go for district, I go for MRT, I go for the newest one. It doesn't mean this way because different scenarios, different portfolios, you will definitely choose different things. And like let's say a resale could be even better for you. So really you have to understand deeper on the project itself and also your investment horizon.
Yep. So speak to us directly to do a detailed one-to-one consultation based on your current situation needs.
Yes, and I think it's very important for you, if let's say you are looking at investment, the booking day itself is so important because only then you will know the prices and how it will affect you moving forward into your own investment or into your own stay, the selling price will also be affected. So only at the booking day can we help you plan more in detail.
Correct. So I want to talk about Qingjian being both the developers for Bloomsbury and Hudson. You will definitely hear agents telling you Qingjian monopolizing this area, right? Are the prices very protected?
Yeah, so they will say, Qingjian can set a different price in the future. They will help you protect your price.
Your price. Then we will look at the bidding price also. Qingjian actually bidded Bloomsbury 1,191 per square foot per plot ratio. Okay. Whereas Hudson was cheaper, 1,037 per square foot per plot ratio, $100 difference. Then also there will be also a lot of agents showing you this news article. Qingjian have set a new benchmark in the City Fringe region at Dover of 1,556 per square foot per plot ratio. They will definitely launch very high at 3,000 per square foot.
If you don't buy now, next time you have to pay 3,000 PSF.
Now Hudson, they say starting will be about 2,000, average will be 2,003 per square foot. So if you don't buy now, next time you will be paying higher at 3,000 per square foot. These are most of the sales gonna say, right? But we also have to understand, does it mean that when developer actually bid higher price, we'll definitely launch at a higher price? Rather than listening to the pitches, we have to understand the developers or the land bid strategy.
Yeah, instead of speculating, we just use data, past data to check whether there's a tendency for them to sell higher or lower.
So we bring you two past examples. One is Jadescape. Okay, it is sold at 2016 at 747 per square foot per plot ratio. The break-even price it will be at 1,076. Whereas we are comparing to another project, Affinity at Serangoon. Land sold at 2017 at 835 per square foot per plot ratio. So the estimated break-even is at 1,356. So definitely in this kind of scenario, you see that Jadescape, the land bidded was lower. Definitely you will say buy Jadescape. They confirm launch cheaper, correct enough?
By 300 PSF at the break-even.
Yeah, the break-even is 300. Definitely focus on Jadescape. Everyone will say, hey, the land bid is cheaper, right? So what is the actual real fact? Jadescape, the average transaction is at 1,665 per square foot. Whereas Affinity at Serangoon, the average price is at 1,560. So it's a 100 difference, 100 per square foot difference. So with this example, right, we are also not saying that land bid lower, I will definitely launch at a lower price, or land bid higher, I will definitely launch at higher price. Correct? We will also have to look into different scenario whether they should sell higher or cheaper. So we will also have to link it to, let's say, Qingjian have the bidded Hudson and Dover, right? Let's say Hudson did not do very well. Will they sell Dover still at a very high price? This one you have to take note of, because developer, they are still businessmen, right? They still want to recoup back their losses. So let's say if Hudson Place actually sell very good in the first day launch, what will their pricing be for Dover?
Definitely they have the ability to sell higher. If let's say Hudson do well. Hudson don't do well, they might not sell that high. Okay, so don't fall into the trap where you look at land bid prices, then you look at the break-even prices, because even a lot of agents are telling me, hey, the break-even price is so low or it's so high, they have to sell even higher. So this already proved to us that it doesn't mean they work this way.
It's not always this way.
Yeah, they have to look at the market and whether there is any competition.
Correct.
With them. If there's competition, yes, they will have to lower their selling price. If there's no competition, they are the own boss over there, then they can sell higher.
So also, if you really drop check into Hudson Place already, you have to look at on the booking day itself. You have to know your total check first, then how many interest for per unit type, to determine whether are you at a good price protection and are you at your sweet spot units, which is what we'll be covering now.
Okay, so like what Charlene mentioned, the total check counts and the interest in different bedroom types, how do you determine this? Is because we have all these apps that can help you come booking day. Alright, so if let's say right now my 2-bedroom premium total I only have 105 units, but if I can see from my app, total there is about maybe 400 people looking at this. According to a check count, does it mean it will sell out? Likely to be, okay, because it's 4 times oversubscribed.
Yep.
But if I see only 100 checks for this 105 units, tendency is it might not sell as fast for these 2 premium. So when it comes down to booking day, other than the check count that we want to check, the prices we also have to see. at our point in time, our queue, is the price reasonable? Is there a safety gap to the next launch? So all these will come down to the booking day itself. Very important for you to do some preparation before and know how to prepare yourself. Okay, now we go into the sweet spot units. Out of all these units over here, we can see mostly will be the 2 bedrooms over here. 2 bedroom and 2 premium. And then the bigger ones is of about 30 to 40%. So sweet spot units over here, just now we mentioned, if you already called it, over here is known for its rental because of the strong tenant pool. So what we want over here basically on the booking day or the launch, what we want to target is basically as cheap as possible. Okay.
Rental you as high as possible.
Rental you as high as possible. Right. So I want to show you for resale wise how the resale units over here perform. So we have a 2 bedroom over here, 980 square feet. This is a project that TOP in 2009. The example that we used just now. Alright, so naturally their sizes are bigger, and then you can see for their median PSF is 1008. So the highest even going up to 1009. This data I extracted based on the past year, okay, from the current time of filming. And then you can see the 4 bedrooms over here, the PSF is only 1005, 1006. So a 2 bedroom over here, the PSF in the resale market is higher, way higher. So how much higher?
300 per square foot higher.
Yeah, 2 to 300. Okay, so there's a gap naturally will be created in the resale time. The next resale projects that we also want to use for comparison is One North Eden. In the same area, 2 bedroom. This is slightly smaller. PSF 2004. Then comparing to a 4 bedroom, 2003. So the gap is about how much?
100.
100. So still the 2 bedroom is higher. Now if we see Bloomsbury, the 2 bedrooms over here, looking at 2004, 2005. This is at a launch new prices from the developers. And you can see the 4 bedroom, 2005 as well, to 2006. So if Bloomsbury turn resale, what will happen? It will likely become like this resale, where the 2 bedrooms go up. So just now we mentioned how price move up in the future, really depending on the rental and the tenant pool, and it will affect the investors coming in to push up the prices. So if Bloomsbury, they can buy at this price, 4 bedroom at this price, naturally 4 bedrooms have to sell how much? Maybe
2007, 2008.
And if I add 100 PSF to my selling price of 4 bedroom, it's about 2009. So I buy this, I sell this. How much am I looking to profit? About 500.
500,000.
500 PSF.
500 PSF.
It is equals to maybe about 2 to 300,000. Okay. So for Hudson Place, if Hudson Place follows the previous developers, okay, the current launches, usually you see the PSF loaded on what?
Loaded on the bigger bedroom type.
Bigger bedroom type. So if they load on the bigger bedroom type, let's say my 2 bedroom for Hudson Place, I go back to this. For my 2 bedroom, let's say I can see a 2XX. 3 bedroom 23XX. 4 bedroom 24XX. This is the trend right now. 24XX for 4 bedroom, they have to sell maybe about 26 to 27 in the future. If I can get something in the 22XX, next time I can sell, let's say 28XX. Just 100 PSF more than my 4 bedroom. I'm looking at a 600 PSF difference. Multiply by my 646 square feet, this is about 360,000. Of course, 22XX is their starting price. We just take it as we buy somewhere in the middle, or even up to the top floor 24XX. If I can still sell 28XX in the future, so naturally it's about 400 PSF, it's about 200 over 1,000.
So the sweet spot is buy into lower per square foot for the 2 bedroom, and you're selling it at a higher, just 100 per square foot higher than the larger unit.
Yes. Okay. But on the launch day itself, booking day itself, if let's say, because you only have the starting prices, if you find out the price, come in and you see 25XX, okay, for the higher floor units, and by your turn you can only buy these higher floor units, should you enter? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You should walk away. Because we keep on have to check according to the 4 bedroom prices. Every time I check price for my 2 bedroom, I also want to check the same level, 4 bedroom, same facing, what is the PSF? If my PSF is the same, then basically it's harder for me to make a profit in the future. But if my 2-bedroom PSF is lower than the 4-bedroom, then there's a high tendency that I'm looking at a good investment product.
Yep.
Okay, so your agent must know how to spot all this. But if you yourself feel that you want to understand further, please reach out to us before you go into the booking day, and we will guide you along on how you should look at, how you should check prices, how you should gauge according to your investment profile.
Because the last that we want is for our clients on the booking day, then panic whether I'm at this queue already, I'm not prepared, my prices, can I still enter or not? So all this must always be prepared beforehand. It's like our previous launches video, right? Different sweet spot unit is at different. Sometimes we talk about the facing. Then now we talk about the per square foot difference if you're entering as a 2-bedder or a 4-bedder. So all these are very important to take note of, and reach out to us directly if you want a one-to-one consultation.
Okay, now to wrap up the whole analysis, let's do a score to it. So in terms of the entry, let's say for a 2-bedroom, what do you think?
For investor, definitely I will give a 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Tenants are waiting for me. Demand is very strong.
Okay. This also depending on the price that you enter in. Of course, if you can go into the 2.3 or even lower than 2.4. Okay. Anything lower than 2.4, I think you are very safe because this is a RCR price. If let's say it's a 4-bedroom.
4-bedroom, I will, if for investment or own stay.
Own stay?
Own stay, I will give a 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe 6.5 actually.
Why?
6.5 to 7 out of 10. Own stay, I still prefer a good location in a way.
Okay, you still want somewhere near
To be
MRT
honest, we always give honest review.
But for investment point of view
For
wise,
investment, I will
look at the price.
look at the price.
Okay, so livability leh? In terms of tenants and also for own stay.
Livability, own stay, definitely, this is not my ideal livability part. It's far from MRT. We have to both agree, right? For tenant, definitely I will choose about 7 out of 10.
For me, I'll choose 8 because I have what all tenants need. Full condo facilities is near their workplace.
You got tennis court,
and of course, there's a shuttle bus for them. They don't need to buy a car. They have a shuttle bus to bring them to either One-Off or Buona Vista.
Recently I served an expat. They only one project that have tennis court. They say I want to play tennis court every week. I said okay.
Okay, but for own stay, of course, this one comes down to whether you work in this area. Do you work in the One-Off area? Do you work in the Buona Vista area?
If I work in this area, definitely I will choose here.
But if you work in Tanjong Pagar, Orchard, that kind of area, then definitely this place is not something you might prefer lah. Okay, then now this part is when you sell. Will there be people buying from you?
Desirability, I think 6.5 out of 10. Mainly, the prices is attractive, but mainly because there are more lands upcoming.
So it really depends on the time when you sell. Is there a new project coming up fighting with you for the price? Or if there is really a project coming up, the price is way high. Okay, that means they launch maybe about 2.6, 2.7 by then. Hey, actually, it will make your unit quite likable.
Yeah.
Like just now, our example on Bloomsbury. If it's TOP soon, I want to collect rental soon. Then I buy something that is either ready, if not close to TOP. Alright, so it really depends on once it comes to you selling, is there a new plot coming up over here? Okay. Now, if you feel that our analysis is good for you, feel free to just contact us or leave your comments down below to let us know what do you think is good, what do you think is not good about this development. Let's have a discussion. And if you really feel that you are confused after hearing all this analysis and after everybody's video, please reach out to us. We will cater to you individually and customize this planning for you.
And this time we didn't share about the floor plan analysis, so also reach out to us if you want the full brochure and floor plan.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.